Damn it, dude.
One of the books that Sam gave to me, but he's asking for it back, How Humans Learn.
Yeah, so I got this book a few years ago. It really dives deep into the process of how learning works. Anybody that's responsible for training should read this book. There's way too many folks out there that are in charge of training and development that don't understand the process of how knowledge is acquired or how learning works. The book breaks it up into a few different categories, talks about curiosity being kind of critical.
I was just going to tell you that before you jumped in. Curiosity, yeah, absolutely.
Evolution has taught us as humans to seek out answers to things. And I think this is one of the first things that I see wrong when I go into companies that are thinking about revamping their training strategy. They try to give everything out on a silver platter. Here is the manual. Here's the modules. Here's the videos. There's no discovery. Curiosity is critical to the learning process. It's actually a big part of our game.
One of the parts that talks about making it social.
Play activity is actually helping sculpt the brain. Serious play can make a direct impact on how well you learn. Lecturing is probably one of the most inauthentic things you can do, and that comes back to making it social, not putting people just in a room, giving them a manual, throwing a manual at them, for example. Oh. That would suck.
I don't know what you mean by that. We go after a ton of clients that want to go ahead and separate your employees, their workforce, into segments instead of making it social, building a culture.
There's not a single piece of research in a book like this or any book I've found in the 6 years that says learning has to be serious for it to be effective.
Or boring. Doesn't have to be boring either.
Bueller.
It's a chapter on failure. This is what it says. Failure can be one of our biggest allies in learning. Our brains are designed to find and to construct knowledge from errors. I cannot tell you how many companies do this wrong, but they think that failure is a bad thing. They baby their employees. You go to any online learning training conference, they refer to employees as learners. Hey, Justin, how would you like to be referred to as a learner?
You're a learner.
I wouldn't like it as much.
Yeah,
you never graduate, you never finish. You're always a learner.
Not like a person, not an employee, not a worker. You're referred to as a learner. And this whole section is worth the whole book. It talks about failure-based pedagogies. You have curriculum that's built for failure to happen. It's okay if your people fail. Like, you don't have to baby employees that are going through training just to make them feel comfortable. The stuff that sticks is the stuff that's hard. If your employees don't know what to say when they need to say it, sales are impacted, customer service scores getting impacted, high churn.
It's a representation of the company overall, by not being able to pull or recall that information at the right time.
What's the biggest problem you're seeing when you're talking to companies?
Onboarding, bringing them, up to speed fast enough, not sticking around long enough to learn the culture, learn the company itself.
So if your focus is on how do we get employees skilled up from 0 to 60 faster, this is the book you should read. Highly recommended. Eddie read it. He can't have it anymore because he won't give it back to me.
Oh, look at that. Thank you. My book, there's a couple of notes that I took here personally that I want to go ahead and actually read. Look at that. Like many practices that employ desirable
Those are
difficulties.
my notes.
These are not your notes. These are my notes. You will find that students experience minor episodes of failure and some degree of frustration. I'm frustrated quite a bit. During play, the brain is making sense of itself. Play activity is actually, we are able to try things.
Okay, give me the book. Stop.
What are you doing?
Oh, Eddie, we have to finish this, bro. You're going to come?
Move. No.
Listen, I can't just finish it. You want me to finish it by myself?
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's just another book. This is Eddie's favorite book. Back to work.
I'm not falling from that shit.
Just don't hurt the binder.
Well, the binder's gonna get hurt.
It's all
I'm not gonna get hurt. What do you mean the binder?
It took a lot of time.
What do you mean it took a lot of time
guy's
of
gonna
putting
break.
the paper together? This took a lot of time.
Let's try this. All right. Oh, and from there, can you?
You see? Oh shit!
Eddie.